Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, welcome. I'm Steve Holzer with SIMLAB, Senior Business Director, and I'm bringing you today another use case. And this is a pretty powerful example of how our Simon product can be used to manage at scale a collection even of, let's say, vacation rental homes like Airbnbs, booking.com. There are many businesses now that have collections of these facilities. And let me share with you, as a business traveler who has utilized these types of vacation rental homes on a pretty regular basis. It can be a little tricky to navigate. The getting the login information or the keys or the door access code, even from the beginning, oftentimes is a bit of a challenge once I actually get to the place. So we have tools to get us to the door, but once we're at our rental place, we often don't have any information other than we rented this place and we might have seen some pictures. So with Simon, today I'm going to walk you through quickly how easy it is to equip you as an owner, let's say, your vacation rental home for your guests to give them the maximum amount of information and comfort about the place they're staying in, plus not have to have you constantly involved in getting questions directed to you from your renters. So anyway, I'm at simlabinc.com, where you can find all things SimLab. So today at our webinar, we are, as I said, going to focus on one of our products. We have two. One of our products is Simon. Stages has also been launched in the alpha version, and you can often find, or actually find, information on it as well, not only on our website, but in our YouTube channel. So let's look at Simon itself. And for those of you that may not have been on the last webinar, I'll just give you the overview again on where you can find out more about the product. There are a number of YouTube channels, there are YouTube videos on our channel, and you can learn about it in that way. There are actually tutorials as well. We have a number of tutorials. We have some samples that you can open up and work on and check out. I'll be using today, it's called the Apartment Airbnb, as one of our demonstration places. And I'm going to set it up as you would for a guest to be able to access the data. So feel free to check out what's coming up in our roadmap. We love to have your feedback. Share with us any comments, or if you have downloaded, or logged in, subscribed, and started using Simon, which is free for another 6 months as an alpha tester, provide us that feedback. So you can join right here. Simply click there to sign up, and you'll be part of the alpha testing team. Thank you very much. So let's get started. It's pretty simple. sim-on.com is where you can go directly once you've subscribed and set up. And it says they're going to click the login. Let's see if I'm already logged in, because we do store logins. So I'm going to have to log out, and let's change so we can get to that demo that we were talking about. So demo at SIMLAB Inc. is one we use for many things. And then, as always, I can see that I have this account set up for both Stages and Simon. I'm going to go to Simon. As is the case, any user can have their own properties that they've set up as an owner and established, or as the author. Others can also share properties with you, which we're actually going to do with another login I have later on, as would be the guest share. So as I mentioned, we're going to pick the Airbnb. This demo account has had all of these properties shared with it it may have set some of them up as well. So anyway, I have access to all of these as it loads, and it does load. The Simon product uses for your interface a Matterport scan. Matterport scans, I think many of you are probably already more familiar with them than you realize, in that they've been used for a number of years, especially in real estate, to just put walkthroughs up for homes and offices, any kind of facility, really. So navigation is just, with my mouse, and I can see a number of things. It loaded in the salon, and part of what Simon manages, let's say, or shares in a global sense. And again, I'm logged in as an owner here, so I'm going to see everything about this particular unit. Simon uses IoT hubs, the KNX's version with Schneider Electric in their Wiser system is one of the backbones. Samsung SmartThing, which supports hundreds of device brands, is another one. Fibro, which has many devices of its own, is also another backbone that currently are supported by Simon for the IoT devices. So as you can see right now, I have a number of icons in my scene here that they're green, which tells me they're on. They're on. So there are a lot of home IoT management systems that look like this. It's just a dashboard, if you will, and just data. It's just all 2D, but I have no idea really where is this lamp in the bedroom? Where is this plug at the window? So all of these devices are listed here in, I call it the old-fashioned way. This is the way most systems used to work. But if that's more comfortable for someone, they can look at it this way as well. Let's go back to our interactive 3D dynamic version, and we're going to see these same devices. Up here, I can choose devices or assets, and I can scroll through all the devices. We're in the kitchen, as you see at the top. So I'm going to have a list of all those devices. If I move to another room, I will see those devices listed contextually on the side over here as well. So there's a flood sensor, bathroom lamp, plug mirror, washing machine. Again, these are devices. There's two types of data that are available in Simon. The other one would be assets. So in the assets, since we are in the bedroom, we have two assets. We have extra bedding. There's sheets, blankets in the closet for use. I can click on it. It'll actually take me and show me where that is. Got an ironing board and a clothes closet, same thing. It'll take me, and it's in the closet as well. So these are two different types of items within Simon that you can manage, you can view, you can see. And as I move from room to room, I will see the pertinent assets or devices, depending on what I have selected. So here you can see there's supplies in the fridge. So this is our vacation home example. So here's a great one. I just arrived and I opened up the fridge and there's water and milk. Oh my gosh, did somebody leave it here? No, this tells me, I'm able to tell my renter that we provided you 2 liters of water, a liter of milk, and condiments. Feel free to use. So this is an interface and a communication tool that gives your customer peace of mind and able to use the facility to the best use. The keys on the table for the trash behind the building, the silver keys for the parking gate. So we can go through a lot of these. I can also have for myself special things. So I bought this in October of 2021, and I can have documents attached to that as well. I got a couple PDFs. One of them is the brochure for the refrigerator, and tells me all the specifics about it, but I may not necessarily need to share that with my guest, with my visitor. So there's a number of things like that we may not necessarily want or need to share with our guests in terms of content or information. Here's one, like the in this case, there's no warnings. This is a flood sensor in the kitchen and a temperature sensor. There's no warnings. Okay, great. But that's not something I necessarily need to have a tenant be concerned about. They really don't even need to be concerned about the plug for the refrigerator having power or not. So I can choose to share this with a login of my guest and let them have their own. So let's go see about setting that up. I can do that through, excuse me, we have within Simon, and again, I'm logged in as an owner, so I have full rights to set everything up. But I can add users and I can add role templates. So I'm gonna just go add a brand new role template to show you how quickly and easily this is done. We'll call this our vacation guest. I did it before when I was testing. Add new role. And confirm or save. And now I can give them permissions here. These are the general privileges. If to let them edit the apartment info, view the providers, create rooms, users and roles. There's no need for a guest coming in to be able to do any of this. Maybe view the providers if they're curious about the provider, what backbone we're using for IoT. Rooms. And again, we're in a real simple Airbnb. Maybe in an apartment building, I might have 20, 10, 5 units, separate living quarters in that building. And I may have areas in the common area for mechanical equipment or fire sprinkler systems, things like that. I would not necessarily give those rooms even ability to view to a guest that's staying in my apartment in that building. So anyway, in this case, we're going to select all because there's no reason they can't see every room, and we'll save that one. So now we've got our vacation guest template. Let's look at devices. So this is one where we're going to want to set up, and this is as granular as we want it to be. In the salon, I can select all, but really, I'll let them control them all. View, control, with the exception of no access. There's no need for a guest. Excuse me, that's the wrong one. They do need to set the temperature. I thought I was in the kitchen. So yes, let's select all to view all devices in the bedroom and control all devices. The hall, there's no need here. We can select all to see and view, but there's no need to see the total power consumption for the actual complete unit. The kitchen, we'll just select all here to view and control. Obviously, we don't want them to edit any of these, but we're also going to override. There's no need for them to see the flood sensor or even the motion sensor and the lighting sensor. So fridge, same. They don't need the plug for the fridge. We want to keep that on. Bathroom, same thing. I'll select all, but then I'm going to unselect some, let them control everything except the flood sensor. We're going to provide no access to that. So save that as our devices. And lastly, assets. So in this case, we're going to be able to let them, this is where they can get the information about much of what is in they don't need to edit any of the asset information in any case. But in this case, they don't need the television data. That's when I bought the TV. I put the receipt out there. They can see all of this obviously in the bedroom and access it. Here again, we don't need to show them the refrigerator data, where we bought it, when, and how. The oven manual is good to show them because there might be often, I'll tell you, I've stayed in Poland, I've stayed in Dubai, and I don't speak Arabic or Polish, and even using an oven, a cooktop, or a washing machine can be a challenge if the knobs are all done strictly in a foreign language. So this allows the guests to be able to understand. Usually those are in other languages, or you can put a link in there to go right out to the manufacturer's site to find the right information. So bathroom, one more. They don't need to see the supply lines for the bathroom, but the washing machine manual, same thing like I just said. So let's save all those. So let's go back to, I set myself up as a new user earlier. So let's add a new user. Steve Guest. And one of my other email addresses, use that so we don't get, and I'm going to assign the vacation guest. Again, I'm sitting here as the owner. So let's get the vacation guest. I can give them more than one role. Steve Guest. Let's edit this one. Fresh. Internet gets a little challenged when I am streaming live, in addition to running multiple apps in the background here. So back to our apartment settings. I'm going to bring over another window so that we can, I have just sent my guest the link to sign in. As always, it usually saves the last sign in we used as a cookie in our browsers. So I'll log in as my new, and the only one I have, since I'm a guest here as under my guest account, is our Airbnb apartment that I was given. So now I'm just ready to check into my place. I get to log in. I'm in, and I'm able to look around, and I can, instead of having, oftentimes, they'll have just a sheet of paper on the counter or something with some of the instructions, but they never seem to be too clear. So again, you see much the same, but you're not going to see everything that we saw before, because the permissions we set specifically for this login, that as in there's no TV data showing here. There's a lot of things, not a lot, but you remember a few that we checked, that there's no access to certain devices or certain assets. So we got the keys, we got other things as it moves through room to room, what is available to each and every person or tenant. So there's the intercom. So I know that it'll ring if I have a guest arrive, and the pin to the door is 3445, so I can tell my guest. So these are all really, really helpful things that really enhance the experience of your guest if you're an owner of a vacation rental home. And you before this have not had an opportunity or a way other than a sheet of paper that you may have to update on a regular basis to show exactly what all is available to the tenant. This gives them a much better overview, to see the whole unit, to experience it, look at the floor plan, know the layout, and then they can also see everything that's actually in that simply by clicking on the devices. So again, jump to any room. Let's go to the kitchen where there's quite a bit of things. And look in the floor plan, and now we have all the devices in the kitchen that are available to us as well. As IoT will show us those same icons we can actually turn things off and on, which is why obviously I didn't check it correctly, or the fridge should not be showing here. I don't want to need a tenant or a renter to turn a refrigerator off. Operator error on that setup. So anyway, that's you can see it's not hard to do. It doesn't take a long time, and yet it gives you a really robust way to manage and even update the information. If you had to replace the oven, got a new microwave and set it on the counter, you simply go in and tag it within the scan, locate it within the scan, add the data you want, and give it permissions for under your visitor or guest role to view it, operate it, whatever is necessary. So again, registration for SimOn is available at sim-on.com. It is free at this time for alpha testers. We do ask for your feedback as we're getting this, good solid legs underneath this product. Invite you to try it with a number of different units that you may have access to. Let me see if we have any questions in our couple here. Do I need a Matterport scan to use SimOn? At this time, yes, that's the primary user interface that we have for the whole SimOn platform. It gives a real intuitive method for any user that can click a mouse to navigate a space and learn about it. So it really is pretty straightforward to use. Will there be support? Another question here. Will there be support for other systems? These are very similar to the same questions I got on our intro call. For other systems, like for instance, Google Home. There are a number of them on our roadmap. You might have seen when we first started the webinar. Go to simlabinc.com or sim-on.com. Scroll down and you'll see our upcoming roadmap features as they give you a little more description there. Do I need to buy an extra license for the guest or the tenant? Our license structures are still in the oven, if you will. We're baking them up, but we anticipate having a free license, which is you really wouldn't effectively be able to use for a rental unit because it really limits the number of devices that are able to be used in the freemium version. There will be a license. The next level will give you 3 to 5 users. So my best practice or suggestion is that you set up an email address with an account that you can share with anyone as they rent your place out. So that way you always have the same login. You just can send out the same login, same email address for them to access as a user, as a tenant for your property. Doesn't seem like we have anything else, so that's great. We'll wrap this up for once. We might be close to being on time. Any questions, comments, suggestions? As I said, the forms are on the site, but also you can reach us at info@simlabinc.com. That's info@simlabinc.com. I'm sure you'll even come up with more ideas on how to leverage the power of the Simon platform with your particular use case of vacation rental homes, even apartments, rental apartments. It's a great way to document, maybe even using, check this out on another one of our webinars, the stages to scan and have multiple time views of a particular unit. So before and after the tenant, before move in, after move out, and you can compare the two for potential damage or just maintenance that needs to be done. So anyway, that being said, we'll see you on the next webinar. Thanks for being with us. Have a fantastic day.